Welcome to our channel, $1 Million Made Easy. On this channel, we set up spreadsheets to run numbers for people to show them where they might be in the future. What we do is use the actual historical returns for the S&P 500 for the last 100 years. These are the actual returns that we use. There's a wide range of what could happen in the future. So we come up with a range because we figure you're going to have similar returns to what has happened in the past. So we end up with a possible range. So in this video, we're going to be looking at somebody in the withdrawal stage. This is the request that I got. It said that they're asking for their father. It said the father is currently 74, receiving full Social Security. He has 270,000 saved. 270,000 saved. So that's the beginning balance. It says he will work 2 more years with intentions to save $1,500 per month, which would be $18,000 a year, which would be another $36,000. Can he retire? He intends on monthly costs of being $6,000 per month. So let's change this to $6,000 per month. That's what he's going to. But he's also getting Social Security of $4,800. So you really only need $1,200 from the nest egg. But I also want to add the $36,000 in here. I don't know what numbers to use here because the market could go down in the next 2 years. It could go up in the next 2 years, but I'm going to take the 270,000 and I'm going to add the 36,000 he's going to add, and we're just going to use these numbers for right now. Now, 6,000 minus the 4,800 he's getting for Social Security, that's 1,200 a month he's going to get. That's a 4.71% withdrawal rate on this balance. Again, this balance is, we don't know what that's going to be in 2 years. I'm just using it as if nothing happens. He's just adding the 36,000. There's no growth, but no loss. No stock market crash, no stock market gain, which is not realistic, but I don't know what numbers to use. So that's a 4.71% withdrawal. Now, what we want to do is look at all these different years. Right now, 1924 numbers are showing. Also, we want to give him a 3% COLA to keep up with inflation. So it's 1,200 and he's going to need. He's going to get the Social Security, which is going to go up by a COLA. We also want to do a 60-40 asset allocation, meaning 60% staying in the S&P 500 and 40% going over in their cash reserves. So when the market does go down, these kind of amounts aren't coming out of a market that's already going down. It's coming over this cash reserve account, some kind of a liquid account, maybe a bond fund or whatever that you can take money out of when the market's going down. So we want to go ahead and update this for every single year. How would the numbers have worked out over the last 100 years given this scenario? Again, this is questionable right here, the 306,000. If we knew right now he was retiring this kind of money right now, then we could run the numbers and be more precise on what would have happened given what's happened for the last 100 years. But here's the actual 1% of the time over a 20-year period, he'd be out of money. Now, he's 74, so when he's 76, looks like after 10 years, he's going to be fine no matter what the returns are. If he has this beginning balance, that's the key. We don't know what that's going to be in 2 years. But if he's 74, 2 years from now, I'd be 76. The first 10 years, no matter what the scenario would have been, no matter what returns you would have had right here, he would have been just fine after 10 years. After 20 years, it gets a little bit iffy. Let me show you the actual graph, though. This is the only time. This is the 20-year graph. 1929 and 1930 are the only times you'd have a problem possibly running out of money, or actually running out of money if the returns are like that. And the year 2000 is getting a little bit close too, but look at all these other years, just fine. So it looks like he wouldn't have any problem retiring in the next 2 years if we have this amount. If the market goes up, we change this a number, say it goes up to 330,000 in the next 2 years. That's a 4.36% withdrawal rate, which is even closer to the 4% rule. But what happens if the market goes down and he only has 250,000 to show for it? Then he's at a 5.76% withdrawal rate. So it all depends on what happens in the next 2 years with this 270,000 and the 36,000 that he's adding. But it looks like in most scenarios he's going to be just fine. But let me update this just in case we have a down market like we had back in 2008. How many times would we run into a problem? Right now it's 1% of the time with the 306,000. But if we're down to 250,000 after the next 2 years, then 9% of the time he'd have a problem running out of money. And that's when he could change his COLA, cut back on his COLA. Looks like during the Depression years and also the decade of the 2000s would be a problem. If we had returns like this and he only had 250,000, if he has a 306,000 or higher, then he's not going to have a problem. Again, that's with a 60-40 split and a 3% COLA. He would give himself a lesser COLA. That would change. In fact, no COLA at all. Watch this 9% change now because he's not taking out. He's just sticking with the 1,200 a month, realizing that just Social Security is going to go up by a COLA. So most of his income is going to have a COLA on it. If he leaves the nest egg, just taking out the 1,200, then only 1% of the time would he run out of money. So you can see the importance of that COLA on his nest egg. So that's one answer that he could do. We could change the asset allocation. We could change all these different numbers. That's what we do in this channel. But he wanted to know if his dad can retire. Again, it all depends on what the market does in the next 2 years. He's going to he's going to put 36,000 more in on top of that 270,000, so that we ran the numbers for that. But it looks like in most cases he'd be just fine. Worst case scenarios, just don't give yourself a COLA and let the COLA at Social Security provide the income increase each year, not trying to increase this at all. But hopefully this makes sense. But that's what we do in this channel. We run all kinds of numbers for people, just maybe helping them to see where they might be in the future. And please consider subscribing to this channel. Let people know there's a channel out there to run numbers for them. Please share this with others. Comment on the videos, like the videos, and thanks so much for watching.